Are we ready?
We are ready.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we ready now?
Yeah.
So we'll start. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We
All right.
ready?
But I think I can hear my own voice.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. All right. Hello everyone. Hello Liza. Welcome to this episode of Go with WP webinar. Thank you so much for joining us today. For everyone, in this series of webinar, we have been talking about specifically about WordCamp Europe 2024, which is going to happen very soon from 13th June to 15th June in Italy. And as a guest, today we have Liza. Okay, so I think I cannot properly pronounce your last name, so I'm just going with Liza for now. Please do it for you by yourself later. A quick introduction of Liza that I've got is she is from Group.one. Group.one is a leading European provider of online services like cloud hosting, digital marketing services, and WordPress products. Under Group.one, there are very popular brands like one.com, WP Rocket, Rank Math, and other popular brands are under that umbrella. And Liza is the product marketing manager at Group.one and the community team lead for WordCamp Europe 2024. So to get started, I would like to add anything that I missed in your introduction and maybe also your full name so that I can maybe learn. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Sunita. Thank you for the invite. And I'm going to start by sharing a secret about my last name.
Okay.
No one can pronounce it. I'm not
Really?
sure I can pronounce it myself because it's a transliteration of my original Russian last name. So my real last name is Bogatyreva.
All right.
And what you see on the screen right there is a butchered version that the Swedish
Oh,
Migration Board decided to that was the only way they could make sense of it. So I actually have a male last name in Sweden. I would say Bogatyrev, I don't care. There's no right way of saying it. I struggle with it myself still. So I
thank
came
you. That's a
to,
relief.
yeah. So no worries there at all. You did your best, and Lisa is just fine.
Yeah.
So I came to Sweden as a 9-year-old kid and kind of rolled with the punches, and this still haunts me to this day. So no, I don't think you missed anything in the introduction aside from my trying to organize meetups as often as I can in the south of Sweden and sometimes helping out in Copenhagen as well. So that's what I do. I am a product marketer. I WordCamp Europe for the second year in a row, and I do meetups whenever I can.
You do meetups in Sweden?
Yes. I founded the Malmö meetup. We have not had a meetup for a long, long time due to my schedule and lack of resources to do this. But as often as I can, I organize meetups in Malmö. That's the very southernmost tip of Sweden. And sometimes I actually help out the meetup group in Copenhagen by providing a venue and some food.
Great, great. Thank you so much. So now I'd like to start with WordCamp Europe things first. So I already mentioned that you are leading the community team for WordCamp Europe. So would you please share a little bit more about what does community team at WordCamp Europe do? What are your roles and duties? And how, at what stage of that role you are currently at? And any details that you'd like to share.
Oh, yeah, the community team is a wonderful team to lead. I think it's one of the most exciting teams to be part of during the event because we are responsible for most of the activities that take place during WordCamp Europe.
Yeah.
So starting with Contributor Day, which is by far the biggest event during the conference. This year we have 750 signups for Contributor Day, and people are still trying to sign up despite the registration being closed. So roughly a third of everyone who will attend will be there, and it's a huge thing. Furthermore, we also do something that's called WordCamp Connect. WordCamp Connect is a series of informal panels where the idea is that the audience does not only listen to the conversation, but also participates in it. This is a format where it's totally okay to jump in at any time during the conversation, to ask questions without waiting until the presentation is over. In fact, there are no presentations, there are no slides, there's nothing that is scripted. It's an open conversation around mostly community topics. We are going to talk about things that touch us all in one way or another. And this year, the theme is a holistic take on sustainability. So what does that mean? Because we've heard sustainability from so many angles before, and mostly it all boils down to discussion on how to reduce waste from WordCamps. And I think we're good at having that conversation, but we are, at least in my opinion, overlooking some other aspects of sustainability that should be highlighted more. So this year, we're going to talk about everything from setting sustainable web development standards, how to future-proof the WordPress project for the people of WordPress from a mental health standpoint, how to get more sponsors in to sponsor the community and our events. And so this is something I'm very, very excited about. And everyone who has the opportunity to visit WordCamp Europe, if you have something to share, if you have a personal story, if you're just interested in one of these topics, I think this is a great, great time to make your voice heard. And for that specific reason, one of our WordCamp Connect panels will be dedicated to first-timers. So that will actually take place on one of the main tracks because we think that first-timer feedback is so important. So we will welcome all first-timers up on stage to let us know how their experience have been and what we as organizers did well, or what we should improve on. And it's also a great way to get involved. So anyone who's visiting for the first time, we really want to hear from you. And that is only WordCamp Connect. We still have a pretty long agenda, right? So we have a wellness track. Did you know that when you go to WordCamp Europe, we make sure to take care of your well-being and your decompression during this event. So we have 2 yoga classes lined up for you, one during each conference day, and we welcome everyone. It's a first come, first serve basis.
Okay.
So no sign up is required. If you happen to be available during that time, you're very welcome to join for a nice, relaxing yoga class. And if you prefer a city tour, we have arranged 2 city tours during the main conference days. So you get the chance to go out and experience Torino with a licensed tour guide that is knowledgeable and can take you around town for approximately 1 hour. So that is also something we're very proud of. And for those who are coming with kids, there is a kids workshop. There's an excellent kids workshop that I cannot recommend enough, that is run by truly passionate people who've done it for years. Their names are Aida and William Jackson, and they are seasoned vets when it comes to ushering kids into tech, into WordPress, and content creation.
Right.
So for those who are coming with older children, 14, 16, this is a great idea. They will actually provide free web spaces for them that will live on after the conference. So the kids can develop their talent and their skills and their interest in this. So the kids workshop is on Contributor Day. So bring your kids, sign them up, and they will enjoy it for sure. And what else do we have? We have a community booth.
Right.
So we have a community booth that is pretty much open to anyone who wants to come and interact with us. And this year's community booth is something special because we have decided to weave in this year's sustainability theme, the people aspect of it, by creating a closed off space for contributors who are seeking sponsorship to take meetings for absolutely free. Sponsors are allowed to buy meeting rooms, but as a freelancer or a part-time contributor to WordPress who is not sponsored, we understand that not everybody has 200 euros an hour for a meeting room. So we're giving you one. So this is something that's very important to us this year, to connect people who contribute to the project with sponsors who are willing to sponsor a contributor and benefit from their knowledge and experience. And this is what we want. So if we get even one person whose financial stress is alleviated after a successful match with a sponsor, that would mean a lot for the entire community. So this is something that we offer at the community booth. But besides that, it's an excellent station to just come say hi, have fun, take a selfie. And also, we have a giant world map with the whole world represented this time. And would like to see where you're from. So come and put a little pin on the map and make sure to put a green or yellow dot, whatever that color would be, if you are just an attendee. But if you are a contributor seeking sponsorship, please use the red dots, because after the conference, we want to light up the map with details on how many there are out there who are struggling to get sponsorship for their contribution to the project. We want to visualize the extent of the problem and how it's taking a mental toll on the WordPress community. So if you are in need of sponsorship, make sure to highlight that.
And I think one thing is there are so many attendees who are attending WordCamp Europe for the first time. That is also
Yeah, definitely. And it's very cool. I think we've sold a lot more tickets than expected. So we believe that there will be about 3,000 attendees in total.
Wow.
So this is huge. It's going to be a huge conference. Thankfully, the venue can hold them all because it's enormous. We would be able to fit up to 8,000 people in there.
Wow.
So it's huge, and there's going to be a lot of walking. You don't really realize how big that venue is until you stand there. It's enormous.
Okay, so I think 3,000 will be the highest number so far until now for any WordCamp.
Yeah.
That's so huge. It's gonna be historic.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And all the different activities and different initiatives that you are trying this year. They sound
Mhm.
really, really awesome, and I am feeling already like, oh wow, and kind of jealous of what I'm going to miss because I won't be there. But Ganga will be there, so I'm hoping to hear his first-hand experience of how it went. Yeah, but really amazing ideas that you're working on, specifically the one that you are trying to connect the contributors with the sponsors. I think that's one of the key things when we are talking about the sustainability. It's also the individual contributors whose sustainability is really, really important. And we are in the organizing team for WordCamp Asia 25. And yesterday it was our first town hall meeting. And one of the questions was about this particular thing about the sustainability of the contributors when we specifically the organizers for WordCamp Asia. So yeah, this is really, really important topic, and the way you are trying to address, that's really remarkable. Yes, I kind of got an idea that you are going to handle the contributor day that will have about 700 people.
Yes.
700 people. Maybe there were, I think it was 800 people last year, right?
Well, not really, because we typically during a contributor day, there is a limited number of seats.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
besides the seated contributors, there are also volunteers and there are
Right.
organizers. So there's always more people around than people contributing.
Ah,
And this year we decided to cap it at 750 to actually keep it down to 600 seated contributors. So we expect a few no-shows, but other than that, there will be organizers, there will be volunteers that will fill some of these spots, but those will not be actively contributing during the day.
Yeah.
But we have almost every team present. The only team that don't have a table this year is Tide. But other than Tide, everyone is around. We actually have some extra tables for other projects. So we have a DEIB table, we have a playground table, we have coding standards are joining with a table. And I think the selection is really, really broad, especially for those attending for the first time.
Yeah.
So there's always something for someone.
Yeah.
There's
How many tables are there actually?
So there are 60 tables in total,
60?
and they are, yes,
Really?
60 tables with about 12
Yeah.
seats per table.
That's crazy.
Oh, you should see the venue. It's so huge that they
Yeah.
all fit seamlessly within the setup.
Yeah.
So there will be lots of space, even though we're fully booked. And this year, I'm also very happy to share something. Besides my mission to get people in WordPress paid, I'm also, I had a vision when I signed up as a community team lead. And that vision would be to provide Wi-Fi so good that people would talk about it in the years after.
Yeah.
And thanks to our amazing production pool, we think that we are on the right track. So some of the more tech-intense teams will get wired internet. And we are doing everything in our power to keep it smooth and easy for everyone to contribute.
Yeah, that's also a really, really important point to consider for the contributor day specifically. We also had a really big, it was really challenging for us to manage internet for everyone on the contributor day. For WordCamp Kathmandu, we don't have as big a number of contributors. Still, for maybe we had about 200 people for the contributor day, and it was really, really tough to manage. It was like there was like a hassle for the first maybe 30 minutes that everyone was like shouting, okay, I'm not connected, what went wrong? And so it was such a hassle. Yeah. So
I
you
can
mentioned
imagine.
that, yeah, yeah. You mentioned you were organizer for WordCamp Europe 2023 as well.
No, yeah, 2023 in Athens, yes.
All right.
So
In what
that year I
role? The
was
same
on.
role?
No, not the same role. I was on the same team though. So
Right.
I was on the community team,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I was on the Contributor Day subcommittee.
Mhm.
And this year I came back as the lead.
Wow. So the vision comes from your experience, last year's experience.
Yes and no, I would say. I think what really drove me to propose the theme for this year. Now, this was also ultimately a team decision. We discussed multiple ideas, but what made me really drive this idea of connecting contributors and sponsors forward is how many good organizing members that I have lost to this problem. And
Right.
when we monitor the inbox for WordCamp Europe, we get the same request time and time again. I
Yeah.
really want to join, but I have no means to do so. We also have organizing team members that are fundraising right now. They've been working for 9 months to get WordCamp Europe to happen, and can no longer attend because there is no sponsorship anymore. And I think it's such a shame when we are talking about the world's most adopted CMS. I think this is a really strange problem for us to have. And I think that also working as a representative of a large hosting group, I also think that the will is there from the sponsor side to actually sponsor contributors for many different reasons. And I think we as a community should be better at providing that value for the sponsors.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Very important points that you have shared. And I think others who are organizing flagship events also get to learn some things from there, or let's say the entire community, the WordPress community, in whatever shape, whatever, wherever it is, all the communities, let's say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
No, I just wanted to say that I've seen people try this in WordCamps in other ways, right? I've seen this done informally, and I think it's time to get more procedure in place.
Yeah. So more people can get advantage of it.
Yes.
And also it becomes normal, so people don't have to hesitate to ask.
Yes, because it is work, right? Organizing a WordCamp is work. Working on tickets for your make team, that is work, right? And as much as we love this work, it is still work. And this is work that takes time from your other paid work. So unless your employer is willing to help you in your contribution, you're on your own, and that takes a toll on many people.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so now let's move to the overall WordCamp Europe's highlights. So apart from what you are doing, I found your team's plans, your team's initiatives really amazing. So apart from your team, what your team is doing, what other interesting things are going to happen this year at WordCamp Europe? What are the maybe 5 highlights you'd like to share?
Oh, wow. Only 5? I think there are
you
about
can share
100.
more.
Right. I think the content team has set up an amazing array of speakers. They have topics for everyone. So I really like that about flagship WordCamps, because there's something for everyone. If you are techie, there is tech content. If you're a marketer, there's marketing content. Literally every topic related to WordPress under the sun, from business to AI to everything, it's all represented on the stage in one way or the other. So I think that is going to be really, really fun. The second part that I'm really looking forward to is, well, I think this is the part that I'm looking forward to the most, and that would be to meet everyone, because we have been working together since October.
Yeah.
And we've been in weekly meetings. They have seen my kid on the screen pop up behind me in meetings. I've seen theirs. We've shared our personal problems. We have dreamt of the food we're going to eat. And I'm really, really looking forward to meeting this huge family of volunteers and organizers that has become my circle during these almost 10 months.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to Italy. So of course, there's some personal benefits to that as well. We are going to enjoy some of the best food in the entire world. So that is going to be amazing. And for those who want to make the most out of WordPress and WordCamp Europe and the community in general, we have so many cool side events planned. This is also something that my team is handling. We handle the registration for them.
All right.
And it's basically a platform that we provide for people who want to host an informal event. The only requirement is that everyone should be welcome. So it's okay to have a restriction on how many can sign up. Obviously, we don't expect everyone to get a venue for 3,000 people. But as long as there are no requirements to belong to a certain company or speak a certain language or whatever, as long as everyone is welcome to join, then you can post it on our page. So there are some really cool side events that you can go to a picnic in the park. You can go to a rooftop bar for cocktails. There will be talks and all that stuff. So that is something I also really, really recommend that you do. And I've signed up for a few, so I'm going to make sure to go to as many as possible and just make the most of the time on the ground. And finally, I think I really want to visit the after party this year.
Right.
So I missed that in Athens. I was so wiped, I just needed to sleep before an early flight. And this time I think I should actually be there.
Awesome. So is that it?
Yeah,
5 points?
I think so.
If you like to add anything else.
Oh, it's I'm going to be very, very busy during the conference, but this is one of these events where you work and it doesn't really feel like work.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yet you get exhausted, I think, by the end of the day because of the running.
Yeah.
Here and there, going here and there.
When you're going, please keep your step counters on and look at them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because you'll be surprised.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, and also I think that will give some sort of satisfaction that you feel okay, you achieved something. At least okay, walk many steps.
Exactly.
Yeah. At the end of the day, when you're exhausted, to console yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing all these highlights, exciting things that are going to happen. I think the previous week, we talked with Patricia. I think she's organizing the picnic side event that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
She had
does
mentioned
that every year.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah. And Patricia is one of these people you just have to know in this community. She's wonderful. And I really, really recommend going to her events. If you really want to connect with people, Patricia is excellent at that.
Yeah. And it was really fun talking with her too. She shared that she had come to Nepal as well. when she was very, very young. And we sort of, she kind of knows many places of Nepal, and also she talks a little bit Nepali language. So we had
Oh,
some sort
wow.
of communication with, connection with her too.
No way. I knew she was a woman of
Yeah,
many talents, but I did not know she knew
yeah,
Nepalese.
yeah. She visited Nepal and India, I think when she was in her 20s, maybe.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. All right. So now I think we can talk a little bit about your journey in the WordPress, when it started, how you started working with WordPress, your involvement, your contribution journey, your WordPress journey as a career, a little bit about how you started in WordPress.
So how I started with WordPress, that was way back in the day. We're talking
Huh?
WordPress, like one of the first versions of WordPress.
Right.
So I used to blog, and later on, I finished my first degree, which is in business administration, specialized in marketing. Started working in marketing, and all of a sudden, I was in a position where I needed to have websites up and running really fast. And back in those days, creating a website was not for everyone. It was awfully expensive. It was tedious. Everything had to be hand coded. And whatever CMS was out there was suboptimal, to say the least. And here I discovered something that took 80% of my workload off my shoulders. And I fell in love. And I have advocated for WordPress ever since. So I stayed in my marketing role in my previous company, and I stayed there for many, many years. And I came to a point in my life when I wanted to try something new. And just out of the blue, I get a notice from a friend that, hey, my friend Nadia is recruiting for a WordPress marketer in one.com, which is part of group.one. And isn't that something you're good at? And I thought, well, why not? And I had an initial chat with my first manager, Sarah, and I immediately felt that this was a company I wanted to work for, and that I would be super excited to join this team. And we continued the conversation, and ultimately I was asked to do some tests, and apparently they liked what they saw, and all of a sudden I was on board with 1 month to go to WordCamp Porto. I had always loved WordPress, and I've always used WordPress. I had worked with it. I've worked with agencies and consultants, but I have never been part of the community before. And all of a sudden, I was expected to. And again, 1 month to Porto, ticket in my hand. And that's how it all started, because a realization happened that you might as well just take the plunge, right? And do as much as possible, connect with everyone, and attend as many events. So what is better than hosting your own then?
Yeah.
So I started by applying as a meetup organizer.
Right.
And I met with Devin, who was with Automatic, who was also organizing WordCamp Asia, to my knowledge, right? Yeah. So she onboarded me, and there I was with my own meetup group. And from there, it's been just me applying for every opportunity to contribute. So when the call for organizers for WordCamp Athens came out, I was very fast to send my application, and thankfully they accepted me, and then it just snowballed from there, I guess. So that is my contribution experience. I started contributing to the actual project at a contributor day before WordCamp Netherlands in 2022. That was my first contribution, and I just absolutely fell in love with the documentation team. I think it's a super interesting team to join, and they have cookies. And yeah, so for those of you joining Contributor Day, expect cookies. And it's just so much fun because you get to learn so much. It's the best way to learn everything and then some that you didn't know before.
Right. So your first WordCamp was WordCamp Porto then.
Yes,
What
my
year
very
was that?
2022.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
since then you've been organizing your own meetups and also doing the flagships and maybe other countrywide or citywide events as well.
right. So I do my meetup in Malmö. I help the meetup in Copenhagen. They try to meet as often as they can as well, and I really stay out of their way. I just give them a venue and some nice food so people can come in after work and enjoy a quick bite and participate in the meetup before they head home. And other than that, it's been 2 flagships that I've organized now, and we really try to go to as many events as possible with the company, and group.one is really, really big on sponsoring. So last year we sponsored WordCamp Netherlands, WordCamp Finland, we sponsored WordCamp Denmark, we were the top sponsors. We had WordCamp Germany, well, we were in Swiss Community Day and WordCamp Vienna and WordCamp Madrid. So I've been all over Europe. I call it my world tour. So I've been everywhere because the company is just very happy when I go to these events. So this is the highlight of my job for sure.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's really, really great. So I'd like to know what's driving you to contribute more. So like since you knew about WordCamps, or after your first WordCamp, I think you have been to many WordCamps and also been organizing. So what's driving you to do that? What's the driving force behind
I think
organizing the events and contributing to the project?
I think 1000% learning is the main driver for me.
Right.
But with the caveat that I come from an incredibly privileged position. So I have full support from my company to sponsor any event that we and our WordPress team deem beneficial for us to sponsor, right? There is rarely any resistance to my participation in anything that is related to WordPress and or the community, because group.one actually has it as a priority of theirs to contribute, and not only to by sponsoring, but also by contribution, by contributing hours. And this is obviously not something everyone can do. And since I'm one of the lucky ones who can, I want to really use the opportunity to the max. And for me, this is about learning everything, because whatever role you end up in, as a sponsor, you learn. As an organizer, you learn. As a contributor, you learn continuously, and you level up very, very fast. So this is the best opportunity out there to meet with new people who know more than you. This is probably the best competitor research you can do in a very informal setting. You get to know everyone who has products just like yours.
Yeah.
So it's super valuable for us.
Yeah. All right. So I think you kind of answered the next question I was going to ask. So, and you are not just an organizer for WordCamp Europe, but I think your company is sponsoring the event is one of the top tier sponsors. So if you have anything else to add on what benefits do the sponsors get from sponsoring in a big event like WordCamp Europe, I mean a WordPress event like WordCamp Europe, what are the benefits the sponsors get, or what drives your company, Group.one, to sponsor these events? If there is anything else to add other than the benefits that you shared.
I think that as a company that benefits off a software that is an open source project, you have to be part of the project. I have seen WordPress services being built by by companies who don't really participate in the community, and you can tell, right? It's in the way they see WordPress themselves. For us, it's about knowledge first and foremost, because if you don't go to these events, if you don't attend them, if you don't speak to the people, if you don't interact with the attendees at the booth, how will you ever know what they want? How will you ever know how to build a service that works and that is appreciated? And this is the best research you can do, really.
Yeah.
So we have decided not to treat WordPress community events as commercials, so we don't run any campaigns when we go to WordCamps. We just go there to learn and listen, and to put ourselves out there as available if someone wants to approach us to ask questions. We have a booth where we bring people from technical support, we bring developers. So if anyone has a problem that we can help solve, this is what we're going for. So this is pure interaction with the WordPress community. And it's a great place to meet a lot of people involved in WordPress at once.
Yeah.
I think I also have to add a few things on it. I think we talk a lot about sustainability. Sponsoring WordCamp is also a part of sustainability. If open source sustain, then we do. Like Group.one, Group.one is doing business for more than 20 years because of this sustainability of this open source project. So we are not getting, like, companies are, at least as per my idea, I'm not the marketing expert, but at least from my idea that doing the sponsoring a WordCamp or sponsoring an event, there is no direct benefits, or there is no return of investment in a direct basis. Like, you are investing this much of money and you can sell the product that much of money. That doesn't really make sense. But as you said, like, we are going to talk with people, we will get chance to network, and we also tell the entire world that this company also exists and this company also work in this field, so that we can make a coordination with other big companies, do some collaboration, something like that.
Yeah, and we get to present ourselves as a company that actually cares about the open source project, right? So if you make money of it, you have to be part of it. There's really no other way of going about it. And as you said, Ganga, this is very correct. Tickets to WordCamp Europe cost 50 euros. And for those 50 euros, you get 2 conference days with full access to everything that takes place during the conference. You get food, you get a hot meal that is adapted to multiple dietary preferences, you get refreshments during the day. This is all very expensive, and I think everyone who does the math will also see that ticket prices alone barely cover a small part of what it costs to organize the WordCamp. So without sponsors, these events cannot take place. And it is in our interest as a group of hosting companies that these events do take place. Because ultimately what we want is adoption. We want people to use WordPress. We want people to thrive when they use WordPress. We want them to develop things with WordPress. We want them to promote it to their clients. We want them to make money off it. We want people to win online with WordPress. And I cannot see any other way of doing that but to sponsor.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ganga, for adding a few more points to it. So now now that I am organizing WordCamp Asia and also Ganga is organizing WordCamp Asia, I was wondering what's your thoughts on sponsoring WordCamp Asia 2025?
Did you get the question?
Yeah, do you get a question or was I
Sorry,
audible?
not quite. I missed the question because my internet connection seems a bit unstable.
Oh,
So
right. Okay,
could
so
you please repeat that?
yeah, sure, no problem. So now that we talked about sponsoring and you are, I think you are the one who is handling things for WordCamp Europe as a representative of your company. So I was asking, what's your thoughts on sponsoring WordCamp Asia 2025?
Right. So WordCamp Asia is definitely on my list, at least to attend, right? Group.one has mainly had a European focus up until now, but we're always open to see if anything changes, because ultimately WordPress is a global project,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And we do have sister brands that typically attend WordCamp Asia. We have WP Rocket attended
yeah.
the last one, and I think they're going again. I'm not sure, but they should. And if not the whole group, then some sister brands might attend and sponsor. And
Yeah.
besides that, we also have representation in Ganga organizing, so we will
Yeah.
happily support that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
WordCamp Asia is supposed to be epic next year. It's in the Philippines,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's in Philippines, Manila. Will you be coming?
Yeah. No, I will not. And I have a personal reason for that. I will not be
Uh-huh.
out of the organizing game
Okay.
entirely
Okay.
next year. And there is a reason for that. And it's a family reason.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I will be out of the game for 1 year, but I will be back.
No problem. We'll miss you definitely. But yeah, you will be with us with all your heart. So we accept
I
that.
will be watching online for sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I had a WP Rocket team in 2023
Yeah,
in Bangkok. I
yes.
did go this year to WordCamp Asia, so I don't know whether they had come or not, but I think they had come. Did they come, Ganga? WP Rocket? Okay, your mic is mute.
No, I didn't think so.
Okay. Then I think we can expect them to come to 25,
Yeah.
the 25%.
I will
All
make sure
right.
to tell everyone in the group that
Yeah, please.
WordCamp Asia is coming up.
Yeah.
And
And yeah, I think I also have to mention that Ganga, I am not sure about Siva, whether he's using it or not. We are using both WP Rocket and Rank Math for our websites. That's why also to WordCamp AC, we users are here, so you have to come.
I will make sure to let them know because
Yeah.
it's an amazing product. I absolutely love it. It makes my life so much easier.
Yeah. All right. So I think we have talked pretty much about everything. So I think that's all I would like to ask. So I now would like to hand over the space to Siva and Ganga if they have anything else to add or ask.
Right. One more thing. I just wanted to
Yep.
say that due to a calendar conflict, I literally have to run. But thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you so much for having me on the show.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
you're
for your
really
time.
A nice
thank
time.
you.
See you soon.